I don't think it really matters what it is. I
Hmm.
just think that all that matters is that we seek out, if we can't find the resources within to figure out where to go next, that we at least seek outside help, even if it's just talking to a friend. But sometimes people want something that's beyond the friendship. They want something that's a bit detached from that,
Hmm.
because I don't have to. I don't have to. What's what I'm trying to. I don't have to uh, soften the blow, so to speak. I don't have to sugarcoat the message.
Hmm.
I can simply say, and I'm polite about it, but I can simply say what is there, and it's up to them to take it on or not.
Yeah, so you don't really sugarcoat it, right? When you that's not really your job, is it?
No,
Like,
my job, it's like, this is like a counselling session in a way, because we do get down to practical things that they might want to do, but I never say this is what you should do. I will say something like, "Have you thought about such and such?" So it's mostly in the form of questions,
yeah.
or I could say, "You could try something like this, see how that goes," or "You could try this," that kind of thing. I might suggest some possibilities, but I never prescribe what they need to do. I
Hmm.
say, I might say, "This particular part of your life's not working. You should be asking yourself why you're in this job, because it's not working for you," and that kind of thing. I
Hmm.
mean, yeah. So there's other examples I could share where a woman was working for somebody. She was a chef, and she was working for a couple of celebrities. I won't go into detail, but anyway, she couldn't work out whether to stay with them or not, because she knew this relationship was breaking up. I didn't find out till much later that was what was going on, and she needed to know whether she should stay or whether she should go. And I simply said to her, if the gig continues to excite you and interest you, it's well paid. So the lure of staying was there.
Hmm.
Monetarily, it was worth their while. But I said to her, you can stay there, but the gig has to be interesting and exciting, and it has to be able to take you in places that you have not been before. If
Hmm.
it's not doing that, you need to go somewhere else, even though it's profitable. Very, very, very profitable,
Hmm. Hmm.
So, yeah. So
Interesting.
that's how I approach it. So
Yeah.
it's probably just opening people up to different possibilities and saying, well, have you thought about this or that?
Yeah, and coming from the numbers that you're, because when people come to you, they and you don't know them, like they just you ask for their name and their birth
Okay,
date,
so
right? Or how does that work?
the obviously their birthday and their name at birth, but also the name that they are using now,
Yeah.
because we often change. We have a full name at birth. Most of us have a middle name as well as the surname and first name,
Yeah.
and we often drop something, or we take on. Sometimes we take on a middle name. Sometimes we take on a nickname, a shortened name. Sometimes people change and take on new names, new surnames when they marry, or they don't like a name, for instance, because there's something wrong with the name, so they change it completely. Or people take on Sanskrit names. There's all sorts of things that people do. So I need to not only look at the birth name, I need to look at the name they're now using.
Mm.
Some people have asked me, some people have had nicknames that have changed throughout their life, and I've been able to tell them a story about
Hmm.
each of the periods of their lives based on the
Just on the
name,
nicknames. Wow.
the nickname that others have given them or that they've taken on.
Mm.
So, but the two key, yeah, all I need is your birth name, new name, if there is one, and date of birth, and off we go. Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
If, of
I
course,
that definitely.
if you're twins, this is another thing. If you're twins and you're born on the same day, I will then look at the time of birth.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Okay? Yeah,
Yeah.
and that will tell me a story as to why the twins are different.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. That's
Because they will have things in
amazing.
common,
Yeah.
but they'll have different names and they'll have different times of birth. Yeah,
Yeah. Right. And then also the times of birth are numbers again for you, right? To explain the difference between them.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
But that works on a more subtle level,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
because it's the core. the core vibration is going to be held in the number of the day you were born. So
Yeah.
if you're born on the 27th of the month, the number 27 is going to be powerful for you. You're not going to remember the time of birth so much. And if you're a twin, well, you're probably not going to remember it either. But you'll remember the 27, not so much the time of birth. I will look into the time of birth and go, all right, this is the difference.
Yeah, wow.
Mm.
That's amazing. Well, I will definitely thank you so much, Stevie B, for explaining so much about this. And I think it's such a wonderful. You have such wisdom and knowledge already as it is, and then you also have the numbers and the numerology that you're doing. So I hope that some people that are listening have gotten very interested, and we will share your website, and people can get in touch with you through your website, right, Stevie? Like that's
there's a contact form if they want to. Yes.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
Because we'll
And we can communicate from all over the world. It doesn't matter where they are.
Yeah. No, that's really, really lovely, and I think it's a beautiful and wonderful gift you have, and I definitely was always very amazed by what you've and you really helped me as well in life, like with and I still remember it so clearly when you explained my birth date, and even when I was struggling, when we were at the cafe and we were struggling and you were explaining about numbers, and it's especially a lot of times afterwards you're like, that's what Stevie meant, like at the end of the year, like, yeah, he was right, like, or just, it's really interesting to see that maybe in the moment you're still a little bit like, okay, so what does this really mean? But it will come to you, right? I mean, I think that's really how I've experienced sessions with you, or us talking about my numbers. It was very yeah.
Well, we often don't realize it at the moment, precisely. Well, mainly because it's new information and we're not quite ready for it, or sometimes it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And change for most of us is uncomfortable. So, if I suggest a particular change in a direction, or not saying particularly where, but the fact that I might say you need to change this part of your life, most of us go, but even though I don't like it, I'm comfortable with that blanket,
Yeah, totally. Totally. Well, thank you again for all your time, and we're sending a lot of rain and good thoughts to Australia, because it's terrible what's happening. My heart is broken for so many people, so we're sending lots of love and healing powers, and thanks again, Stevie, and I hope some people listening will get in touch with you. We'll have all your information in the notes. So thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. That's lovely. Thank you.
And to all the people listening, so the notes are you have all the information about Stevie in the notes. And thank you so much for listening. And you know the drill. Be good to yourself. Be good to others, especially the animals. Thank you. Goodbye.